What's up, y'all? So, voting day. An opportunity to make a choice. A choice to hold Home Depot accountable in a meaningful and substantive way. A way that Home Depot has been extremely averse to. I mean, look at the fact that you had the number 2 person in the company in the store the last 2 days, and lo and behold, they're not taking any questions in the interest of time. I find that to be extremely convenient. That the opportunity people have to ask someone powerful in the company, what are your plans for the associates? There are no answers. And I know they would probably like to say, oh, well, they can't promise anything, that's illegal. Nobody's asking you to promise anything. We're asking what your plan is. In the same way in which they go and they roll out a new management system where they, implement CXMs and NRMs, right? They implemented that in pockets across the country. And then it went nationwide. That was a plan. Or how about their flatbed distribution centers? 8 in the country with the intent to expand it across the country. So what are your plans for your labor force? What are your plans to grow, develop, and cultivate talent? What are your plans to retain people? To make it so that the most qualified want to stay rather than wanting to run as far away as possible? Again, they had the opportunity to speak on those things for the last 2 days. But in the interest of time, they're taking no questions. There's a lot of talk of what one person can do, of what experience this worker-led union has. But I would implore you to look around the store, to look at all the people who have come in to save the day. Do they all strike you as people who really understand what they're doing? Do they strike you as people who understand what your needs are as people? Not even just as associates, but as human beings. Where is that connection? Where is that conviction? You can't find it on a piece of paper, no matter how many times you read it over and over again. You can't even memorize it. Make it feel as if though this is coming from the heart. When I speak as I do now, it's off the top. I just press record and I speak. And as to what it is that this union can do, this union can push for an election. It can draw the entire attention of Home Depot and bring down a mass of management and corporate management individuals into the store in order to try and fix it. They would say all of the things that they've done, things like a new belt for receiving and different upgrades to the store, and these are the things we can do. But what prompted them doing it? Was it of their own volition? Was it because they were being proactive and they saw the needs of the store? Or was it because they realized that they were facing the threat of unionization and the fact that their power may no longer be so absolute? Because that's ultimately what it's about for them, is power. And in the end, they can say, well, what experience does this worker-led union have? We have enough experience to leverage the power that we have to bring your asses into the store. And I really feel that if we all get on the same page, we'll have the ability to leverage things that we feel are important. Higher wages, better staffing, better training. And Home Depot can do much better. They can roll out whatever benefits they want on the back wall as you clock in. They can send home letters to you that lie about how much they match in their 401k contributions. And that's stuff that you guys pointed out to me, by the way. It's not even something that I went and looked into myself, just because I've been very busy volunteering a lot of my free time in order to fight for what it is I feel we all deserve. Can these individuals say the same thing? Those who walk around the store and lie and say that we're trying to take your money? Ask them how much they're getting paid to tell you those things as they roll up in their Benzes and all of these nice cars, because they're really on your side. They really understand where you're coming from. We have a choice to recognize the fact that time and time again, Home Depot has missed the mark. And in the end, like the 2018 Philadelphia Eagles said when they won the Super Bowl, we're all we got, we're all we need. We're the ones that are in that store every day. We're the ones dealing with the problems. We're the ones dealing with the consequences of the decisions that these people walking through the store make. They don't have to deal with them. When this is all said and done, where do they go? What do they do? I know where we'll be. Again, in that store, dealing with all the hardship and the difficulties that we have. It's time to say that we deserve better, and better is possible. Consider this, as I've stated so many times. The store made $30,170,052 in profit versus a plan of $26,754,634. That leaves an excess of $3,415,419. You split that up between the 266 associates in this bargaining unit, it's a difference of $12,000 per person. $3,415,419 is 11% of the profit that was made last year. But $12,000 is 40% of the pay that we make on average as Home Depot associates. What kind of difference would that make for you? Let's say they don't give $12,000 per associate. Let's say they give $7,000 or $8,000 per associate. And that other $4,000 to $5,000, you go. You reinvest. You bring in more people. You do better training. These things are all possible. The money's there. And they might say again that, well, what do we know? Look, we're not finding the cure for cancer. We're not solving peace in the Middle East. We're figuring out how to run a store and how to properly take care of people in the process. And they can say things like, oh, well, they're just making emotional decisions. Why is it emotional to care about your coworkers? And what? Does it lack reason and logic? Does it lack factual information? I'm not just saying platitudes. I'm actually giving you numbers. Numbers that are from them. $16 billion in profit. $15 billion in stock buybacks. What that tells me is that it's a choice to neglect us. Because they have the means. And if only they took the time to actually listen, these things could have been addressed. And I tried. I tried my best to utilize their open door policy. I voiced the concerns that I felt we had as associates in the store. I tried my best to observe and to see what it was that led to these problems, and to articulate to the best of my ability what it is that was happening and what I felt could actually solve it. And all I got the entire time was spin. I tried my best to explain the fact that in this economy we're in a 400,000 worker deficit. Baby boomers are leaving the workforce. Gen Z's coming in, and they do not have the same work ethic. I asked, where is the adaptability for this? How are you adjusting for this? I got nothing. And so, I felt it important to go and to have conversations with over 100 of you, and to say that there is a better future, but only if we fight for it. Unfortunately, I don't believe these people care enough to actually legitimately fix what it is that we have issue with. And I say that because, honestly, a lot of issues that we have in our store, I see echoed across the country, which tells me one thing. This is not a 4112 issue. This is a systemic issue. This is a problem with how Home Depot runs as a whole. And if you want to challenge that, you're going to have to take that power for yourself. Because so long as they control the capital and disorganize the labor, they will always have complete control. And in the end, they will always look out for the best interests of Home Depot. And there are times where their best interests and our best interests are going to diverge. So when that time comes, who do you think will actually fight for you? Matter of fact, I'm not even just asking to allow other people to fight for you. I'm asking for you all to get engaged, to participate in this. Because Home Depot Workers United in its ultimate form is 266 plus associates banding together, communicating, talking with each other, and finding viable solutions to the problems that we face all the time. These are some things that I want you guys to consider. I know it's been a long and arduous battle to get to this point, and I promise we're almost there. Just remember, when it came time for them to show if they really cared, did they?